Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone, rule well, being a great example to the young brothers in the truth. And peace and blessing to the hopeful elect, Lord, willing this edifying. This is a video from Rethinking the Dollar, Mike. I don't know his last name. I know his first name, Mike something. But he be putting out some pretty informative videos when it come to, what's going on in a worldly sense, he ain't, a prophet or no Israelite. He an Israelite, but he ain't a believer in the doctrine, so to speak. But at the end of the day, this video is titled "The Bank Intended Cash Squeeze Before the Scheduled Cyber Attack." So we're going to play it and then we're going to get into it. I got another article to go with it. The head of the council, the brother Waters, I put in the group chat. So let's go into this, watch a little bit of it. Because these things could very well take place. And that's what it's looking like. We don't know what's going to happen. But we know it's finna get bad, And the dollar is going to crash, man. So let's get into it. Lord, and this edifying. If I ain't said, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone, rule web, and great example to his young brothers in the truth. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect.
All right, so I want to take a quick minute, share my thoughts. So I'm trying to connect the dots and just put together a picture as to what could be. And so now that the FOMC is done, we were told ahead of time, all the news syndicates were basically telling us that they were going to taper this and do 3 hikes and stuff like that. So it's nothing of surprise whatsoever to me, and I'm sure to you as well. But one thing that stood out the most out of everything that took place in the Q&A session happened to be this.
I would say, cyber risk, the risk of a successful cyber attack is, for me, always the most, one that we would be very difficult to deal with. I think we know how to deal with bad loans and things like that. I think more a cyber attack that were to take down a major financial institution or financial market utility would be a really significant financial stability risk that we haven't actually faced yet. So I could go on with a list of horribles, but I think that's a decent picture of where I would start.
So right there, Jerome Powell was talking about what concerns him, and it was basically 2 things. One before that was the variant, and then the second one, which really stood out to me, was the idea of some foreseen, unplanned cyber event. But then also, this is the first time that I recall him giving such detail as to what concerns him. But then again, we all knew about this well in advance because we've heard this from somebody else.
We all know, but still pay insufficient attention.
And this guy, damn, what this motherfucker name is? Klaus Schwab, and he heading this NWO, man. I don't know where this nigga from, but hey, he one of those front men, He got the, the blueprint on how to get this thing off the ground for the elite, man. And he a part of that, Bill Gates club. He up there. He on the forefront. And he a goddamn Edomite, man. These are those people. These are those wicked people that's ruling the earth, man. Esau Edom, the so-called white man. But listen to him, man.
To the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital service.
Blackouts. If a blackout happened, the economy will crash, man, immediately. We already was struggling the last shutdown, man. Let the whole let the lights go out is over with, man. But let them talk. Let me shut up.
Our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
So now I believe the narrative is set. How exactly this will play out, we'll find out. But
Yep. Now let's go here. You know, let's get what Russia talking about, man. In this video from December 16th, 2021, and this article that the brother had sent to the brother Yawataza. And I wanted to say his page GMS. Well, he probably got strikes. I got strikes on my other page. GMS Yawataza. Yeah, Howard or something like that. But if you put in GMS Yawataza Howard, it should pop up. But this Russia reveals we're World War III. So like I'm reading stupid, like I'm slow. This Russia reveals where World War III has already begun. They say a new conflict is already breaking out in cyberspace, and this is a war ground in the world that we live in today, man. Cyberspace is a war ground because you can destroy you can destroy a country's economy, man. You know, why you think these different, what they call them, the nuclear plants shut down and all these different things be happening? You know, the internet go down for a while. You know, these different things, those be different cyber attacks that's going on. You know, they'll tell you they're just a malfunction, you know, and all these different things. But these people going at it right now, man, in cyberspace, man. You know, through the internet and different things of that nature, through the grid, so to speak. It say a top Russian defense official has claimed, adding that Moscow hopes to work with the U.S. to reduce the risk of stemming from back and forth digital schisms, skirmishing. And Andrei Krush, I ain't gonna play with them folks, man. Andrei, something like that. A foreign minister official charged with overseeing the country's international corporation on information security spoke Thursday at the academic conference on the subject of Russia's place in today's political world. He claimed that cyber attacks have become so frequent and severe as to constitute a new world conflict hidden from the public eye. You know, so hey, this can strike up conflict because you know what there was that went down, the pipeline went down, or the oil pipe or whatever it's called went down over here in America. You know, all these things are happening. You know, but hey, there's cyber warfare going on. You know, because all this stuff ran by the computer is all manipulated by buttons. You know, they just push buttons and turn shit on and off, man. And these things can be hacked, man. You know. It say a war is taking place and taking place very intensely. It say he warned in his address at Moscow State Institute of International Relations, as much as we act like this is all hidden, in fact, full-scale hostilities are happening. I hope I said that. Happening in cyberspace, and in general, the media are correct to say this is already a third world war. We just don't know the extent of the damage, or who will lose in the end, or what the world configuration will be as a result of the war. And that's pretty much the point You know, they already talking about cyber war. You know, and and when World War III actually jump out in real life, Russia will win. I'm just saying. This Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And I'm going to jump to verse 7. They say, For a nation shall, verse 6, like, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And cyber war is a war, man, because you can destroy one's economy through the cyber war, man. You know, destroy the different systems, the food system, because all this stuff is on the grid, is on systems, is on, you know, you can destroy a whole person, a whole country economy just by hacking them, you know. And that's a declaration of war, man, by doing those different things, you know, because that leads to problems, lead to you being able to invade or you being able to do this, you know, weaken their country, man. That's an act of war. You know, it say, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. All these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Yeah, the end is not yet because what? The MOTB gotta come. You know, all these things are supposed to be happening. All this is all, and the elite have their hands in on what's going on with this cyber. Everything that's going on, the elite, this is in their plans for what, man? To implement their NWO, man. To coin their enterprise success, man. This is their plan. This the devil plan, you know. The devil got a different plan, you know, than what they putting on the forefront. Esau want these things to happen, so what? He can bring in this. There's Revelation chapter 13 and verse straight to the point. In verse 16 it say, And he called all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. You know, so hey, all you people you run around, you chasing, you know, you chasing the bag, you know, chasing after riches, chasing after wealth, chasing after all these things, but all this stuff is finna come to naught, man. Nigga got a goddamn a stack of money, barely can hold it, you know, like a baby, goddamn holding the stacks like baby. You gonna be using that as firewood in the days to come, cause it's gonna be worthless, man. You know, I would tell you you better invest in gold and silver, but at the end of the day, if you got money, it'll be a smart thing, especially if you're in this truth. If you're in this truth and you got money, a smart thing to do would be to invest in silver. You know, silver or gold coins or silver coins. You know, because I forgot who I was listening to. I think I was listening to Mike Adams or somebody like that. And they were breaking down the purpose of gold and silver. They was like, gold is to hold, is to store your wealth, so to speak. And silver is, gold is to reserve your money. Like say you want to, I'm going to start up savings, you know, in the old world. I'm going to use the old world. If you want to save, guess what you use to save? You use gold. You get gold. Gold is more of a precious metal than silver. But when you want to, you know, make exchanges, you want to spend, you use silver. You know? So, and it makes sense. Gold is a more precious metal. I think it's heavier, and, you know, it's more of a something to store wealth, and silver is more of something to spend. You know, it's still valuable. It's worth what it's worth, but it's more of a, you got this that I want. I'm gonna give you this many shekels of silver. As in gold, I'm gonna use this silver to buy me some gold, and I'm gonna put this gold back to save up. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a saving type thing. But you know, like I was saying, I would say invest into that. But what the scriptures say, man, hey, your gold and silver ain't gonna save you, man. You know, so if you're in this truth, of course, if you have the ends and the means to get extra food, you know, to get things that'll help you in the times to come, to buy silver, you know, and be sitting on silver instead of you got $10,000 or $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 in dollars. You can turn something. I ain't gonna say go spend all your money on silver, but you can turn some of that money into actual silver coins and be sitting on a bartering. You're gonna be able to barter with that silver. Cause you're gonna have people who done prep. You're gonna have people who done did these things and be willing to give you a bag of rice for a silver coin and some canned goods or whatever you need. A bartering system, you know, in the times that we coming into. These things are gonna be happening. Of course, we know none of that stuff won't save us, but a wise man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, man. You know, a prudent man look well to his going. You know, it ain't nothing wrong with doing things, but you can't do these things and oh, this is gonna save me. This is gonna get me out of the times that we coming into. No, the Lord is gonna deliver us from these times that we coming into. We ain't gonna deliver ourselves. Stockpiling ain't gonna deliver us. Stocking ain't gonna deliver us. We know it's gonna be all on the Lord because we can do all these things. And guess what? We doing all these things knowing that we may not use none of this shit. You know, you got extra canned goods, extra water, you know, just in case something happen. And then all hell break loose and you ain't even nowhere near your damn house, man. And can't get back to it, you know? And a lot of these people that's prepping and stacking up on food and water and underground, you know, little basements and just, you know, prepped, they might not get to use none of that. And a man of the Lord, you know, of the people that's of the hopefully elect, the Israelites that's of the hopefully elect, may stumble across a prepper stash pile, man. Damn prepper, you know, got took to a detention center, man. Indefinitely, he can't get released out of there. He being re-educated, man. And you stumble across his stockpile or her stockpile. Boom, that's the Lord providing for us in the times to come. See, if you ain't got it, you can't do that. But guess what? At the end of the day, we know the Lord got us, man. You know, so we don't focus on all that, man. We just watching what's going on and we rooting this shit on, man. We ain't worried about nothing. Because what? We trust in the Lord. The Lord is gonna deliver us out of the times that are at hand. And it's finna get real bad in the earth, man.
In the middle of all this, it happens to be your bank account and cash. Cash posing the greatest threat to being able to preserve some of your economic and financial well-being and actual physical property in the form.
He may have said it, but I don't know. He may have said it in this video when I was talking about the gold is more for saving and the silver is more for exchanging to buy different things. You use silver to buy and you transfer that silver into gold to store assets or wealth.
Cash. So within the last couple of days, I came across a picture that I thought I would touch on because I've seen a couple of these pictures now. It happens to be in reference to cash, where it says, due to the Federal Reserve suspension of new currency ordering, we currently have no new money to distribute. We apologize for the inconvenience. And so I saw that picture and I thought about, wow, why is there such a narrative surrounding cash nowadays? And then I thought, what better way to try to pull off an actual heist by basically locking people out of their accounts as well as restricting their access to cash, all disguised as some type of cyber event. Because the one.
And if you're investing in Bitcoin, that's the dumbest move you can make, man. That's just like investing in the dollar, man. But worse, goddamn it. If you thinking about putting your money into Bitcoin, that's a very, very, very dumb idea, man. I'ma just say it straight up because that shit ain't backed by nothing. You don't know who own this shit. All they gotta do, me personally, what I feel like they doing is they getting people to put their money into that shit, and they gonna crash that. They gonna crash that shit. You know, and they gonna crash. They sucking the resources and the money out of the out of the what it called, out of the population, out of the economy. They sucking all the wealth out of this place, man. People selling they land and shit, selling shit to buy Bitcoin, you know, and that shit gonna crash, man. All that Bitcoin doing is getting you prepared for the CBDC, man, the central bank digital currency. So you'll just go with it. You'll accept it, man. You're gonna fall right into it. I always knew this was the future. You know, Bitcoin ain't gonna be nowhere in the picture, man. But that CBDC is that central bank digital currency will be, man. Bitcoin ain't gonna be Shiba, Dogecoin, and all this old other coins. That shit ain't gonna be in the picture, man. It's gonna be the CBD, the central bank digital currency. You know.
Signs are all around us. So this picture here I grabbed off Twitter, and then when you did a little research into it, it gives you some insight as to where this come from. So when you go to the Federal Reserve Services.org website here, it gives you a little information as to what that's all about. But then again, there's always more to the story than what we're being told. And of course, whenever something is started, usually it's never rolled back. And in a minute, I'm going to touch on what's even more alarming. So here it says here, 2021 holiday currency ordering periods are suspended. So this was an article from October 15th, but it says here, the Federal Reserve will again suspend the holiday currency ordering periods in 2021 to proactively reduce operational strain on the cash supply chain during the winter holiday season, as ongoing risks associated with the pandemic continue to create unprecedented challenges. So can someone please explain to me what in the world is cash supply chain has to do with unprecedented challenges at a time when most people don't have enough funds to meet their needs, and that's why more people are resorting to using credit. But to move on first, there is no coincidence that along with this so-called cash supply issue that they're concerned with around this holiday season, with more people withdrawing cash for giving as gifts or whatever, it's going to continue on into 2022, I believe, just because if you look around within your area, somewhere around you, there's been more small retail banks closing than we all could have imagined. And of course, this is not by coincidence, because this is a part of the agenda, I believe, to slowly but surely cut off the access from people being able to get their funds when they need it most. And it happens to be before that next scheduled event. And so it's losing its purchasing power. It's still your last line of defense to be able to protect and preserve your time and energy in the form of something tangible that's still used.
And that's true, because what the scriptures say, money is a defense. But this federal fiat currency ain't backed by nothing, man. The dollar is losing value by the day, man. Every day the dollar losing value. Yeah. And gold and silver is suppressed. That is true. What is truly worth. Gold and silver is suppressed. Bitcoin, you know, that shit just, I don't fucking know. That shit ain't real. I got a Bitcoin. Let me see it. It's digital currency, bro. Get your crazy ass. You can spend all that money on the damn digital currency. That ain't no smart idea. You know? You selling coins to people and the price going up. It don't make sense, man. You ain't never touched a damn Bitcoin.
On a day-to-day basis. Even though cash, but well before now, there was an issue dealing with cash and your ability to go get it, and it happened to be 2020 in March 26, when the Federal Reserve suspended reserve requirements for all banks in regards to how much cash they needed to have on hand. So well before this cash squeeze that the Federal Reserve is talking about needing to do for the holiday seasons, they made it advantageous for the banks 2 years ago now to no longer have to require cash. And what I'm referring to, here's an article right here. from last year. It says Federal Reserve eliminates reserve requirements. What exactly does this mean? It says the Federal Reserve announced they were reducing the reserve requirement ratio to 0% across all deposit tiers as of March 26, 2020. What is the reserve requirement? It says the Federal Reserve's Regulation D has been around for years and requires depository institutions to keep enough cash reserves available to meet the immediate withdrawal requests of their net transaction.
And that's pretty much the point. I just put to keep listening to the whole. You can go watch the video on rethinking the dollar. You know, or whatever you want to do. That's pretty much the point. You know, they talking about cyber attacks, and Russia say we already in World War III due to these different cyber attacks. You know, because America attacking Russia, Russia attacking America, China attacking America, Israel attacking Iran, Iran attacking Israel. You know, all these different countries fighting in the cyber realm, the computer geeks, man. The geek squad fighting right now, man. You know, and it's gonna soon turn physical, man. You know, but that's pretty much the point, Lord. When this was edifying, I want to end it giving all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. By Hashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone rule, who have been a great example to the young brothers in the truth. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah Baba. Lord, when this was edifying.